I found out my boyfriend was using my deepest trauma for his therapy homework, so I gave him a real case study to write about. 3 weeks ago, I grabbed Ryan's laptop to print concert tickets. A document was open. Case Dusty borderline me disorder and intimate relationships. 23-year-old female history of childhood. Abandonment exhibits extreme fear of rejection. Self-harm scars on left thigh. He was writing about me. Every fight we'd had was documented. Every breakdown cataloged. The night I told him about my mother leaving when I was 7, how I'd waited by the window for months. The cutting I'd done in high school, my panic attacks when he came home late. All of it transformed into clinical observations for his psychology master's program. The worst part, his analysis concluded I was manipulative and emotionally unstable, recommending future partners should maintain boundaries and avoid enabling behaviors. I sat there shaking, reading 3 years of relationship reduced to a diagnosis. He'd even included photos of my scars, supposedly anonymized but unmistakably mine. Ryan didn't know I knew. He came home that night with flowers, kissing my forehead like always. I smiled and made dinner while my mind raced. How many classmates had read about my trauma? How many professors had graded my pain? I could have confronted him. Could have screamed, cried, proven his thesis about my instability. Instead, I started my own research project. Over the next 2 weeks, I became the perfect girlfriend. Stable, supportive, mental secure. I documented everything just like he did. Meanwhile, I carefully planted seeds of doubt in his mind. I'd mentioned how his thesis advisor seemed distant lately, left fake email drafts open about academic integrity concerns, had mysterious phone calls where I'd whisper about ethical violations just loud enough for him to hear. Ryan grew paranoid. He started checking his work obsessively, questioning if he properly anonymized his sources. He couldn't sleep, convinced someone had reported him. His perfect academic record, his future career, everything hung in the balance. Then came the masterstroke. I created a fake email from his university's ethics board, requesting a meeting about concerns regarding patient confidentiality and submitted work. I watched him unravel, pacing our apartment, pulling at his hair. He was experiencing real anxiety for the first time. The morning of his supposed meeting, I left a printed copy of his case study on the kitchen table. I'd highlighted every violation of trust, every intimate detail he'd exploited. Next to it, I placed a real letter from my lawyer about pursuing legal action for emotional distress and privacy violations. At the bottom, I'd written simply, "Now you have a real case study. Depper it karma." I was already at my sister's house when the texts started flooding in: apologies, justifications, threats to fail his program if I pursued legal action. Then came the desperate Viasnansales, his voice cracking as he begged me to reconsider. I didn't respond. Let him feel what it's like to have your vulnerability weaponized against you. To have someone you trust turn your pain into their gain. My lawyer says I have a strong case. The university is investigating him for ethics violations. His academic career might be over before it started. Some might say I went too far, that I should have just talked to him, but he never saw me as a person. I was just material, a fascinating case study to advance his career. So I gave him exactly what he wanted, a textbook example of cause and effect. The irony is his original thesis was wrong. I'm not unstable or manipulative. I'm just someone who learned the hard way that the people who claim to love you can hurt you the most. And sometimes the best response isn't tears or rage. It's showing them exactly who they're dealing with.